Hello and welcome back, beautiful people. How are you doing this week? I'm so happy to see you yet again for another Video Friday, and if it is your first time joining us, then welcome. You've clicked on our weekly series where we talk about the mind, the body, and other related topics. Today, we are continuing our four-part series on sound as we talk about the chakras, or the chakras, and their related frequencies. So stay tuned. If you've ever taken a yoga class or read about quantum physics, you've probably heard the word chakras. Now, chakras, when we think about them, it immediately can, for some people, create a defense inside to anything that seems spiritual or woo-woo or hippie. But in fact, these chakras or energy centers are very real and they can be measured scientifically. Some of our greatest minds and thinkers on this planet have supported and validated the thought that everything is vibration and that energy is very real. For example, Nikola Tesla said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Chakra, or chakra, is a Sanskrit word that's going to be your ancient Vedic Indian language that way predates anything written by centuries. This was an orally passed down sacred language, and it's so fascinating, and I could not even begin to get into all the details in this video, but I will link a video down below if you'd like to explore chakras and the history of Sanskrit further. Chakra meaning relates to the English word wheel. Our chakras are energy centers that do spin in the shape or the direction of a wheel, not only round and round, but also in a whole myriad of ways. These wheels, or energy centers, are actually located all over our body, and we have hundreds of them. In Sanskrit, each point or energy wheel is called a nadi. There are actually over 100 nadis in the body. However, when people talk about chakras, that there are 7, and those 7 main chakras are actually relative to 7 energy centers in your nervous system. This is how I like to look at the chakras. It's stripping away any of spirituality woo-woo-ness. We can look at this diagram and we can see that the chakras are located along the plexus or information hubs of our nervous system. And each of these groups of nerves is actually connected to a specific organ or organ system. So as you can see down here, we have the coccygeal plexus. And the coccygeal plexus is going to be connected to the last 3 vertebrae and your tailbone. And that plexus is going to be in conversation with the skin around your tailbone. Then we have our sacral plexus, and the sacral plexus is in conversation with your reproductive system, with pleasure. And we have our solar plexus in conversation with our stomach, with our digestion, our intestines. Then moving up, we have our pulmonary and cardiac plexi, which naturally you could imagine speak to your heart. And then we have our pharyngeal plexus, which speaks to your throat. Carotid plexus, which is going to speak to the space between your eyebrows, by your eyes, and your cerebral cortex, which is a thin layer of work that covers our cerebrum, the control center of the brain. But just as each nervous plexus is going to be tied to a specific organ or organ system and be having that conversation with that part of our body, we can also see that our chakras have conversation with that part of the body where they're located. This diagram is just another perspective of how these energy centers where our nervous system plexi are located. So we can see that here at our coccygeal plexus, or our root chakra, we have our stability. When we think of a tail, tails are used by animals to stay balanced. So our root chakra is connected to our balance, our stability, our support system. Moving up from that, we have the orange or second chakra, remembering that that's connected to the plexus of the sacral. Sacral being your reproductive system, your pleasure center, creativity, creative expression. And then we have our solar plexus. Solar plexus related to our intestines, our digestion. And you know, when people say, I had this feeling, I had this gut instinct, what they're referring to is the fact that we actually have more brain cells in our gut than we do anywhere else in the autonomic nervous system. Next, we have the green chakra, or our fourth chakra, energy center, and that is connected to our heart. And I love that this is also related to the color green, because nature is often green and nature is everywhere, and it's just a beautiful reminder that when we open our heart and when we have our heart chakra in balance, we are connected to the oneness and to the love that we all share. The fifth chakra, you can see that it is blue, and that is connected to the pharyngeal plexus, to our throat. When that is clear, when our pharynx and our windpipe is clear, then we are speaking our mind. We are actualizing our truth, and we are saying what we really feel. We're able to have conversations expressing what we disagree and agree with, confidence and clarity. Moving up from that, we have the indigo chakra, or the sixth chakra, which is also known as the third eye, and this is where meditation really begins to occur. We start to connect to our spiritual side and connect to our inner wisdom, our inner knowing, our visions, like what we see ourselves doing and being in the future, and to our journey, our dharma, our path. Above that, we have the crown chakra, and the crown chakra is the highest chakra, which is connected to all that we cannot see or hear around us in different dimensions and other worlds, and that is our highest chakra. These colors are significant because these colors are aligned with wavelengths measurements, which we briefly talked about last week. When we measure the colors, we get these measurements called nanometers, and these nanometers can be seen along the electromagnetic spectrum of radiation. Now, 700 nanometers is going to be lower and slower than 400 nanometers, which is going to be vibrating very fast and have shorter waves and more of them packed into each second. The 700 nanometers down here is red. The 400 nanometers over here is violet. So following our Roy G. Biv, we can see how moving up the body, moving through the chakras, how these numbers, these nanometers of the colors can be translated into sound through a series of formulas. And that's where we get frequencies related to our chakras. Today, I am going to show you how to find your own frequencies of your chakras. Now, there are many charts out there, but what I like to do is find my own frequencies. To do this, you just simply get in a relaxed state where you feel calm and you feel grounded and you feel stable. So there you are, sitting in your root chakra. And you're just going to tone the different chakras or parts, energy what it is that you're toning. We are a resonant body, so we can use our voice to find the resonance in our body of what it is we're toning. To start up high, and now the crown chakra is going to be vibrating at such a high rate that it's nearly impossible to make it with our voice. So you can just imagine it in your head, find that point. Okay, I'm somewhere near it. I can feel this like lift. So I'm somewhere near it. And then you can start to come down to tone your third eye. And you can come down to tone your throat. And we're going to tone on the vowel E. E. And the best and the first and easiest place to tone a chakra, I believe, is the throat, because you can have a direct connection to it with your hand and can feel when your windpipe or your pharynx starts to vibrate. Starting on the vowel E and doing a tone sweep down, so falling downwards and vibrating down from a high frequency to a low. You're going to tone sweep until you hit your throat and you can feel your throat vibrating against your hand. So here we go. We start up high. And for me, that's where I'm feeling my throat vibrating or resonating right here. So I would do that maybe a couple more times just to make sure that I am getting it on that chakra, the throat. And that for me is the frequency of my throat chakra. So I would just look at my app on my phone, see what rate or frequency that's vibrating at, and that would be the marker for my throat chakra. Now you can do this each and every day, or when you're feeling a little off, you can do the toning and see where your chakra lies then on the tuner. Just like a guitar, twisting the knob, or a flute, turning the parts of the flute in and out, you can tune your body. So there are many ways to tune your body. You can keep toning until you clear out any blockages. You can obviously use movement to tone the body, and some people even like to combine the movement with the sound. Very cool, and there's lots of depths to it, and unfortunately we don't have time to get into it all in this video. But if you would ever like to talk about this, or you have a question about it, you can reach us through my email, which is located in the About box. And you can also follow along on Instagram, which is also going to be linked down below in the description. Continue learning, continue practicing, and showing up for yourselves as we explore the wondrous world of healing. I love you so much. As always, love deep, breathe deeper, and I will see you next week.